The notebook models plane. So it models a plane, and we need 3 non-collinear points. So the options we have are JKL or NJK. The edges of the notebook model lines JK, so that's right here, JK, and KL, this line right here. And we know it's a line because it's got arrows on both sides. And then what's the last line in this diagram? Yeah, it's JN. The quarter's right here. What is it modeling? It's modeling point M. And then points N, L, and K, so N, L, and K, they are what? Well, they're on the same plane, so they're coplanar. And points P, Q, and R are right here in the diagram, and so they are all on the same line, which means they are collinear. So this is a real-world scenario that's modeling points, lines, and planes. A metro rail is a subway system that provides public transportation to people in highly populated urban areas. And you can see on this map some dots, and next to the dots are names. Those represent stops along that particular route of the subway. You can see there are different colored routes. We have a red line, a yellow line, a blue line, an orange line, and a green line. Write the name of each object next to the most appropriate corresponding geometric term. So if we look, the first geometric term is points. And points are usually represented by dots. So what do all of these dots represent? They represent locations of stops. The lines is the next word. The lines are actually in the name of the different colors, yellow lines and blue lines. So these routes of the subway cars represent lines. The plane is represented by this map. That's where all of our subway cars travel. So that is our plane. And each one of these stops is coplanar with every other stop. The intersection of two or more geometric figures is the set of points they have in common. Two lines intersect in a point, lines can intersect planes, and planes can intersect each other. So here are some examples of when two planes intersect each other and when two lines intersect each other. Draw and label a figure to represent the relationship. What does this symbol mean? This symbol means line. So we're expected to know that that symbol over the QR means line QR and line ST intersect at U. For Q, given the location of -3, -2, R is located at 4, 1, S is located at 2, 3, and T is located at -1, -5 on the coordinate plane. Point V is coplanar with these points, but not collinear with line QR and line ST. All right, let's do a vocabulary review. What does coplanar mean? It means on the same plane. And what does collinear mean? Yeah, it means on the same line. So what we're doing here is we are saying we have this situation where we have two lines and they intersect at point U, and we want to put a point V so that it's coplanar but not collinear with QR and ST. So let's look. So here on the coordinate plane, we see the diagram where we have point V at -2, 3. We have lines ST and QR intersecting at point U. So we have satisfied the condition of QR, ST, and U being intersecting lines at point U, and the locations of Q, T, R, and S are what they gave us on the previous slide. Here's my question. Point V is graphed on the same coordinate plane. So point V is coplanar with all of these points. But notice that point V is not on line QR and is not on line ST or any extension of those lines. So point V is not collinear with ST and QR, but it is coplanar with all those points. Here's the question. Is the point -2, 3 the only possible location of V? Teachers, please pause the video now. So, coming back, if we have point V at, let's say, this location down here of 4, -4, is 4, -4 coplanar with all of these lines? Yes, it was graphed on the same coordinate plane, so it is coplanar. But does the point 4, -4 collinear with ST and QR? No. So 4, -4 is another possible location for V. In fact, V can be any point on the plane that is not on line QR or line ST. How many planes appear in this figure? So if we look at this figure, the first thing that kind of jumps out at you is this pyramid shape right here. The base of that pyramid is a pentagon, which means it has 5 sides. So there are 5 different triangles meeting at point A. Recall from your definition of a point that there exists a plane between any 3 points that are not on the same line. So each one of these triangles represents 3 points that are not on the same line. So there are actually 5 planes represented by triangles. And then we have our standard representation of a plane, plane P. So there is a total of 6 planes represented in this figure. Next, we're going to look at 4 points that are collinear. So collinear means on the same line. So we're looking for 4 points that are on the same line. Well, H and I are on the same line, and they also have points C and F on that same line. So H, I, C, and F are collinear. Name the intersection of plane GAC and plane P. Plane GAC is this back triangle back here. And the points that this plane GAC and plane P have in common are the points that lie on the line CG. So they have the line CG in common. At what point do line JI and line DC intersect? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out where JI is. That's this line right here. And then line DC is this line over here. Okay? Line DC lies in plane P. But if we look, point J, right here at the top, is not in the boundaries of plane P. So that tells us that point J does not lie in plane P. So that means part of the line JI does not lie in plane P. And as a matter of fact, the only part of line JI that lies in plane P is point I. But point I is not on the line CD. So they actually do not intersect. A biplane has two main wings that are stacked one above the other. Struts connect the wings and are used for supports. Flying wires run diagonally from the main body of the plane to the wings and between the stacked wings. Name the geometric terms modeled by the biplane. So the wing models a plane. The strut represents a line segment. And then where the two flying wires intersect is an intersection point. Here is the exit ticket. Please keep this on the screen and have the students fill it out and turn it in before they leave. Pause the video now.